Which ones do you want? Some chips are at the top. Regular. Those are the. Yeah, those are regular. Those are cheddar.
Hi, my name's Izchel Chavez, and I'm recording my third part of my assignment. I blindfolded myself and went out in the community. I decided to go to Subway, and I chose Subway just because I knew that the layout was the same in every restaurant, and I knew that it was going to be easy for me to navigate myself through it. Something that I've never had to think about before whenever I do decide to go to a restaurant to eat. So I thought about how this might be another place. This might be a place that, people who are visually impaired might come to because that cafeteria style of the counter is very helpful to guide you through it. As I was ordering um, my sandwich, I realized that my sense of hearing enhanced, and I was guiding myself through Subway by hearing the people around me speak. So the guy that was helping me, whenever he would speak, I was kind of just following him, and with that counter as my way to kind of guide myself. So I thought about how much these railings are needed in order to support people who are visually impaired. So that was one thing. The other thing is that I had to be so detailed because I couldn't remember and I obviously can't read the menu. So I had to ask what types of breads and items I could order, and that was something new because usually I already know what I want, and I'm not the type of person that's really asking for what kind of bread do you have and what kind of veggies do you have. So that was another thing that I realized during my assignment. Um, the rest of the time, I think that I just felt like, oh my God, what are people thinking about me? And that's another thing that, we often don't think about how people who are visually impaired might have these insecurities about themselves. And the reality is that, people can be rude. And unfortunately, we need to treat each other a lot more kindly. And that was a huge reflection of this assignment for me. Um, the types of trainings that I would definitely need to if I were, when I become a teacher and I have students that might be visually impaired, is just the cane. Me myself, I don't know too much about the cane, and the dog trainers, um, any specialized kind of technology that children use to speak to look at assignments, so enlarge the assignments, changing the color is all things that I would need to be trained in. Um, Braille is another one that I, would need a lot more training to understand the basics of it and be able to, maybe teach it to somebody or to one of my students. Any accommodations or videos or anything that might help the person are also things that I'm realizing, training for this population is extremely important because there's so many different things that can make it successful for a student. Um, any environmental hazards. Um, so, yeah, if I didn't have the guidance of somebody, that would have definitely been a hazard. When I was at home, I felt a lot more comfortable because I wasn't really being guided and I was going more off of memory. So that was another thing that I was like, it must be very helpful when you memorize everything and, navigating through something becomes, very easy for someone through practice. And that's how I felt when I was recording at home. I knew when I'm feeling this railing, it means that stairs are coming, and I already know how many stairs there is. And I just felt very comfortable navigating through that, and without the guidance of, not a whole lot of guidance by anybody. So, yeah, it would be difficult to adapt to a home environment if I were visually impaired. I think a lot of it would go through memory, but there would be so many other things that I would need to incorporate in my home, like the clutter, making things cleaner so that just navigating through my home is a lot easier. I decided to go upstairs because I knew that it was going to be a lot easier for me to navigate, but when I was doing the home recording, I didn't choose to do any of the downstairs because I knew that we have a lot of furniture and there's Halloween decorations, and I just knew that it would be easier. So, me even thinking of where I was going to record at home made me realize that there's so many other things that I could be doing to make my own environment more friendly. And I am glad to do this assignment and reflected on a lot of different things. And I look forward to just learning and accepting people regardless of what their disability is. Thank you.